What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be going over the Fire Warlock. Just kind of, you can run this from normal all the way through Hell mode. You don't need to use Infinity. There's a lot of workarounds for this character. It's pretty cool. This is a great update. So I'm just going to start off with the skill points. This is what you're going to want to max, right? Ring of Fire, Flame Wave, and Apocalypse. These are all synergies for each other. They all get bonuses off each other, build off each other. This is your whole build. You're mainly going to be using Flame Wave at the end game and Apocalypse, but going through normal difficulty, Ring of Fire will take you all the way. It'll take you all the way. Over in the Demon section of the skill trees, Bind Demon, you're going to want to max. Makes this big, strong, scary guy extra scary and tough. You're going to want to put 1 point into Consume, and then with your plus skills you should get around 10-11 points. This lasts for 240 seconds. It's really no different than having Holy Shield on a Paladin. You just got to remember to do it again. So with Consume, you're going to want to use the Tainted, right? So if you look at Tainted, it says fire damage increase and resist fire, right? So if I go ahead and summon this guy and then I put Consume on and hover here, it tells me what the bonuses I get from Tainted are. Minus 15% to enemy fire resistance, plus 20% to fire skill damage, right? So if I'm looking here, my Flame Wave is doing about 4k and 1600 damage. My Apocalypse is doing 8k to 10k. So if we consume this guy, we want to consume the Tainted. If we consume him, now we're up to almost 5k and 2k and 11k, 12k. This is without battle orders. If I went in and did battle orders, it's a little bit higher. But so the Tainted is important. Maxing out Bind Demon is important. Consume is important. I only have one skill into Demonic Mastery. I'm level 84. I can probably put more points into that if I wanted to. And you're going to want to get Blade Warp just for the easy teleport. Makes it quick, makes it fun. A little bit of relocating during the gameplay is always nice. And because you're teleporting, it brings your Mercenary and your Demon with you. So that's a huge bonus. That's a huge bonus. As far as the Bind Demon goes, right, I feel like there's a misconception going on of you have to find a champion enemy to bind them. And like I just said, I actually tried to go to Act 5 and grab Lister, but he died too quickly. I accidentally killed him. I grabbed one of his minions on accident. But, perfect example, this was just a minion of destruction. Now he's Sharp Weaver, right? And I can show you that real quick too. We can just go find some random guy out here. Alright, so we should be able to bind this guy. Now he is our binded demon, bound demon. That was just a regular fallen. Now he's Doom Vex the Destroyer. You can see when you're using Consume at the top, demon, cold enchanted, extra strong, extra fast, spectral hit, or enchanted. The aura is always going to be randomized unless you find a champion that has an aura on it already, like Conviction. I'm pretty sure that when you find a champion like that, it'll automatically just give you that aura. It'll just give you their aura. Go back here. So the skill tree is just going to be fire. We're focusing on fire for this one. The sigils are nice. If you have, I use lethargy a lot. If there's one guy we want to kill like Diablo, I'll lay down a sigil on him before I start attacking him. Makes him a little extra squishy. As for attributes, base strength, like minimum for the amount of gear that you're going to have. I'm using a Monarch Spirit right now, so I went up to 156. If you find a book, one of the new uniques, I don't think you really have to have that much strength. So I would just say just enough for your equipment. Dexterity, I have this super low. I don't know if I have any points in this. Maybe some just for my flail. Super low, just enough to wear your items. You're not going to be getting hit very often. It's not like a paladin or even a sorceress because you have the minions. Vitality, pump it full. You want all the life. Energy, if you're in normal difficulty, I put some points in energy for the sake of just being able to spam my skills. Makes my life a little bit easier. Totally up to you. My opinion is you can always restat later. You got tokens and 3 Den of Evil quests, so that bit's easy. For the gear, now the gear is kind of versatile here, right? I think you can use just about, like, okay, this is all non-ladder gear that I had from previous ladders because there's not a ladder out yet. So I threw on Heart of the Oak. I have a Peasant Crown, which is trash. This should be a Shaco, but like I said, I'm not really worried about it. Skin of the Viper Magi, faster cast rate, Amara's Spirit Monarch, Mage Fist, a Dwarf Star Ring, not really very useful. Night Smoke, just for some extra resistances. Resistance Ring and Resistance Boots. I have a torch that's an Amazon torch just for the stats. We have a Annihilus, and here's the biggest thing, right? We have a Fire Sunder Charm. Normally Sunder Charms are kind of trash. They break immunities, but you still don't do much damage to them. So to the enemies. So I was kind of on the fence about this, but it is necessary, right? So you're gonna have the Fire Sunder Charm, and let me show you why. We're gonna go to the River of Flame, and we're gonna do this a couple times probably. So I will show you once I get what I'm getting. I guess I can explain this a little bit as I'm going through here. Your main attack is going to be a Flame Wave. It goes really far. The only downside is some of these like skinny areas are it kind of hinders your Flame Wave. But if you have a big open area, it's gonna take up a lot of space. But it travels a pretty good distance. And then if you have like a big pack of enemies or somebody that's tough, you can use Apocalypse, and it's this big AoE that just pops. Does really good damage. And you can't really see my little Fallen's kind of hard to tell where he's at sometimes, but if I wanted to teleport over here, get him in the action faster, just walk away from the fight, that tends to work really well too. If you get caught up in a pack like this, if you get stuck in between people, you can use the Ring of Flame because it has knockback. It'll keep everybody off you. Like, oops, teleported in. Let me just ring of fire, get out of here. I wouldn't teleport back out unless you absolutely have to because there's a little bit of a time delay. You throw the blade and then you wait for it to land before it teleports you. So that's not going to save you quite like teleport, like the regular teleport skill will. Alright. Let me keep adventuring here. Alright, here we go. This is perfect. Perfect example. First try. Look at that. Can you believe it? We have Hephasto up here. He has Conviction Aura. So we are going to try to bind him. Takes a couple tries sometimes, but there we go. We got him. Now he has Conviction Aura. Conviction Aura is going to make our build much, much, much better. Now everything's going to be taking way more damage because their resistances are lowered. Hephasto is such a tank. He's never died for me. I've died once and lost him. You don't always get him to have Conviction Aura. I just got super lucky on that run. So I'm going to hold on to this guy for as long as possible. The alternative to this is you could go for Lister. I'm not sure if you can get Conviction from Lister, but he does have amp damage, which makes your mercenary incredibly scary. But I think the whole point of this is to do as much fire damage as possible. My mercenary is really just here to be an extra tank and give us the insight mana regen, and it just melts. Do a lot of damage with the fire, and it's honestly a lot of fun. Like, you can just jump in there, hit those guys, throw a couple flame waves, and then you're on to the next mob. Now, back to what I was saying about the gear. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other good options for gear. I haven't quite dove into all the new uniques. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are based and geared towards the magic tree for the Warlock. Like I said, I haven't really gotten to jump into it too deep. This is just what I started with and I've been building on. And it is, granted, this is player 1 difficulty in hell mode. I'm level 85. We just leveled up. But it's a lot of fun. You know what I mean? It's surprisingly good. Using Conviction Aura on the demons along with a Fire Sunder Charm seems to work out really well. I have a terrible minus 89 Fire Resist Sunder Charm here, and I'm still maximum resistances. I would say just get some Fire Resist Charms going. Try to squeeze in some resistances where you can. But don't forget, do your battle orders. Switch back to your main weapon. Cast the Tainted. Consume the Tainted. Now you're doing good damage. And then you will continue to just roll through everything as long as Hephaestus near you. And if you don't kill the guys fast enough with fire, I promise you your mercenary and the demon will. So that's it. That's what I've got for right now. Let me know what you guys think about the DLC in general, about the Warlock. Have you messed with the fire build? Are you leaning magic? I know Echoing Strike, is that what it's called? Yeah, Echoing Strike is doing ridiculous amounts of damage. There's some fun builds that I think we haven't even seen yet on this. But that's all I got. So let me know what you guys think. Bang, bang.